Most people think the most powerful roles in the Bible belong to prophets, kings, or warriors. But what if I told you that some of God's most trusted positions were handed to men who simply stood at the door? That's right, gatekeepers. While the world chases spotlight and stage, Scripture quietly honors those who stood watch, unnoticed, at the thresholds of sacred spaces. Sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? Yet the Bible, especially chapters like 1 Chronicles 26, explains how the ones guarding the door were actually protecting divine purpose. If your life feels ordinary or overlooked, this might just be the most important message you'll ever read. Because hidden in these verses is a calling most people ignore, but one that could change everything. Then, let's read the chapter together. The divisions of the gatekeepers, from the Korahites, Meshelemiah son of Korah, one of the sons of Asaph. Meshelemiah had sons, Zechariah the firstborn, Jeiel the second, Zebadiah the third, Jathniel the fourth, Elam the fifth, Jehanan the sixth, and Elioenai the seventh. Obed-Edom also had sons, Shemaiah the firstborn, Jehozabad the second, Joah the third, Sacher the fourth, Nethanel the fifth, Amiel the sixth, Issachar the seventh, and Pulathai the eighth. For God had blessed Obed-Edom. Obed-Edom's son Shemaiah also had sons, who were leaders in their father's family because they were very capable men. The sons of Shemaiah, Othni, Rephael, Obed, and Elzabad. His relatives Elihu and Semachiah were also able men. All these were descendants of Obed-Edom. They and their sons and their relatives were capable men with the strength to do the work, descendants of Obed-Edom, 62 in all. Meshelemiah had sons and relatives, who were able men, 18 in all. Hosea the Merarite had sons, Shimri the first, although he was not the firstborn, his father had appointed him the first, Hilkiah the second, Tabaliah the third, and Zechariah the fourth. The sons and relatives of Hosea were 13 in all. These divisions of the gatekeepers, through their leaders, had duties for ministering in the temple of the Lord, just as their relatives had. Lots were cast for each gate, according to their families, young and old alike. The lot for the east gate fell to Shelemiah. Then lots were cast for his son Zechariah, a wise counselor, and the lot for the north gate fell to him. The lot for the south gate fell to Obed-Edom, and the lot for the storehouse fell to his sons. The lots for the west gate and the Shalaketh gate on the upper road fell to Shuppim and Hosea. Guard was alongside of guard. There were 6 Levites a day on the east, for a day on the north, for a day on the south, and 2 at a time at the storehouse. As for the court to the west, there were 4 at the road and 2 at the court itself. These were the divisions of the gatekeepers who were descendants of Korah and Merari. Their fellow Levites were in charge of the treasuries of the house of God and the treasuries for the dedicated things. The descendants of Ladan, who were Gershonites through Ladan and who were heads of families belonging to Ladan the Gershonite, were Jehili, the sons of Jehili, Zetham, and his brother Joel. They were in charge of the treasuries of the temple of the Lord. From the Amramites, the Izharites, the Hebronites, and the Uzzielites. Shubael, a descendant of Gershom son of Moses, was the official in charge of the treasuries. His relatives through Eleazar, Rehabiah his son, Jeshaiah his son, Joram his son, Zichri his son, and Shelomith his son. Shelomith and his relatives were in charge of all the treasuries for the things dedicated by King David, by the heads of families who were the commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds, and by the other army commanders. Some of the plunder taken in battle they dedicated for the repair of the temple of the Lord. And everything dedicated by Samuel the seer and by Saul son of Kish, Abner son of Nin, and Joab son of Zeruiah, and all the other dedicated things were in the care of Shelomith and his relatives. From the Israelites, Kenaniah and his sons were assigned duties away from the temple, as officials and judges over Israel. From the Hebronites, Hashabiah and his relatives, 1,700 able men, were responsible in Israel west of the Jordan for all the work of the Lord and for the king's service. As for the Hebronites, Jeriah was their chief according to the genealogical records of their families. In the 40th year of David's reign a search was made in the records, and capable men among the Hebronites were found at Jazer in Gilead. Jeriah had 2,700 relatives, who were able men and heads of families, and King David put them in charge of the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh for every matter pertaining to God and for the affairs of the king. Let's say a quick prayer to thank the Lord for His mercy. Hey God, thank you so much for opening my eyes today. I didn't expect to learn so much just from a chapter about gatekeepers, but wow, you really know how to speak straight to my heart. Thank you for showing me that even the quiet roles matter, that being faithful behind the scenes is just as powerful. Help me guard the right doors in my life, and give me wisdom to recognize what to let in and what to keep out. Walk with me daily, Lord. I don't want to just know this truth, I want to live it. So now the question is, what kind of gatekeeper are you? Are you standing watch over your heart, your home, your choices, or are you letting anything walk right and unchecked? It's easy to say we honor God, but the proof is in what we allow to pass through our gates. What are you watching, reading, or speaking that may be shaping your atmosphere more than you realize? If Obed-Edom was blessed just for making room for God's presence, imagine what He could do through you if you guarded your life with that same devotion. Maybe it's time to shut a few doors. Or maybe it's time to open one for God to walk back in. Ask yourself, what gates do I need to secure today? Who's standing at the threshold of my life that shouldn't be? And what would change if I started treating my everyday choices like sacred assignments? If this stirred something in you, don't just scroll on. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and let's keep reading and unlocking chapters of the Bible together. There's so much more to explain, and trust me, the next revelation might be the one that flips the light switch on in your spirit. And, as always, don't forget to check the last video and learn more about the scriptures.